If you want to create some cinematic shots for your video, you should check out the product that I'm going to talk about in this video. Kia ora, good morning everyone, Richard here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a look at the Zeapon Micro slider and also the Easylock. Before we start the video, I just want to tell you that I'm going to give away a Micro 2 Micro slider and also the Easylock to one of you guys. And what you need to do is you can either just make the comment below and tell me why you want the slider, or you can go to my Instagram page and just follow my Instagram account and also follow Zeapon's account, and then just drop a comment and just say you want to enter the giveaway draw. And you can do both if you want to double your chance of winning, and I will do the draw 2 weeks after this video is published. So anyway, a little while ago, the guys from Zeapon just contacted me and asked me if I'm interested in trying out their new product. So I was going to tell them, no, sorry, I can't really do it right now. But then I had a look at the website and then I see what they are making is actually a slider, and a very small, very portable slider. And that is exactly something that I have been looking for a little while. So if you have been following me for a long time, back when I was mainly just doing blog posts, you may notice that I always spend quite a lot of time trying to get some nice product shot with my review. And when I start doing YouTube video, it's something that I also need to do, but I feel I struggle a little bit, or a lot actually, because first I just try to use handheld camera and just rely on the image stabilization feature to take some nice steady product shot, and that doesn't work very well. I notice my hand actually shake a lot when I try to take the product video, so the product video shot I got is really not very nice quality. So after that I thought, oh, maybe I just put it on a tripod and just use the tripod and just pan a little bit. That's better, but that doesn't really get me the effect that I want, and there are lots of limitations. So after that, I know that I really need to get a slider if I want to get some smooth, nice and cinematic kind of product shot. And I look at the options I got, go to different camera store and also internet, and I found that a nice slider is actually very expensive, and also a lot of them are very big, like way bigger than what I need. So in the end, I just bought a cheap slider from eBay, I think. Something like this. It was about $50 US dollar. So I got it and I used it, and I was pretty happy for the first hour or so, because very soon I noticed a slider like this one actually has lots of limitation and lots of issues. First thing is, it is not actually that smooth at all. When I try to move my camera, I noticed that it's very difficult for me to keep it at the same speed. There is a lot of those small micro vibration. So the shot I got is, of course, it's much better than before when I was just trying to handheld or use the tripod to pan around. But it's not really what I want from a slider. And also when I try to tilt the slider a little bit, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I can just use the gravity to help me to move the camera in a very constant, smooth action. When I try to do that, there are lots of problems. First is, it's very hard to adjust it to the way that it just sliding at a speed that I like. Is either I adjust it too much and it will be like very fast, or not enough so that it will move very slowly and then it will stop because the friction the slider provides is not constant. So it may move nicely for like 2 seconds and then it will stop, and then if I push it again, it will move very fast. So yeah, it's not really the quality of the slider that I was hoping for, but then I was not really paying a lot of money, only $50. So, but that's what I have been using until I received the micro slider. When I took the micro slider out of the box, the first thing I noticed is how compact it is. Look at it, it is very small. From one to the other side is only 33 cm. And even compared to my previous slider, which is not a very big one, and you can see this is like almost just over half of the width of my previous slider. And the build quality of this slider is absolutely fantastic. The slider is mostly made of metal, but even the plastic bits is made of very high quality plastic. For a slider that is just around $200, I didn't expect the build quality to be so good. At the edge here, there is actually something to help clean the track, so that when you're using it outside, a lot of time you attract some dirt and things, so you don't want it to go inside the slider and make all the track dirty, because then it would not be smooth. So they put something here to guard and clean the track. And also when you move it to the center, you can lock the track by pressing these two buttons here. Now the track cannot be moved anymore. So yeah, all these small design details are things that as a user you will really appreciate once you start using this micro slider. And to use and install the slider is actually very easy. So there is a hole at the bottom here. You can just mount it onto a tripod, or you can mount it onto another tripod head if you want to adjust it, or you can also mount it onto this Easylock, which I will talk about a little bit later in this video. And then once you've done that, it's on a stable platform, then you can mount another tripod head on top of it, and then let me grab one, just mount it on top of it. Switch, and then you can install the camera on top. Then you can start using the slider. And because the slider has a double slide design, so what it means is that when you are moving the camera around, the track actually also moves, and that allows this track, which is only 33 centimeters long, to have a total of 54 centimeters travel. Now 54 centimeters may not sound like a very long distance, but I have been using it quite a bit. Like for example, all my product shots, I only use mostly 1/4 or at most 1/2 of the travel, and that's more than enough for me. And even when I'm shooting some outdoor shot, very rarely I have to go all the way from one end to the other end. Now one normal problem when you are moving camera this way is that when you move the camera back a little bit, because the track could be quite long, so now the track could be in the frame, so you can't move it too much, otherwise you see the track in the frame. But with the double track design, because you notice that when I move the camera back, the track actually also moves back with the camera quite a bit as well. So that allows you to move the camera back a lot more before the track will appear in your video. And when I have the slider installed and I try to take the first video using the slider, I immediately noticed it's a huge difference about how smooth it is compared to my old slider. It just has a very fluid, very smooth movement, and it's dampened very well as well. I can control the speed very easily and keep it at a constant speed with no micro vibration. I can also start and stop the panning movement very smoothly, which is something that I can never do with my previous slider because it's so hard to make it start and stop smoothly. But because with this micro slider, everything is dampened very nicely. So I can easily start and stop the movement during my shot and produce a very nice, very cinematic and smooth result. I also try to tilt the track and the micro slider a little bit and use the gravity to help me move the camera very smoothly, and that is a lot easier than compared to my old slider. Everything is just so easy and so smooth with this micro slider. Zeapon said that the slider has a safety limit of 5 kg, but you can load it up to 8 kg. I haven't got a chance to load it with any really heavy camera, but I have used it with a range of different camera, with my G85, with this Sigma FP. I use it with Panasonic S1 with a reasonably large lens, and it can handle all of them very nicely, no problem at all. Okay, one thing I mentioned at the beginning is this Zeapon Easylock. This is not a standard accessory that would come with the micro slider, and what it does is if you unfold it, it's basically a base stand, a low profile stand for the Easy slider. So to install it is pretty easy. So you extend all the legs like this, and then you put it somewhere, and then I probably should remove the camera first so I don't drop it. Okay, so what you need to do is that you just place it here, and then you just tighten it using this screw here, and now you have a really low profile stand for this micro slider. Even though this is not a standard accessory that comes with the micro slider, I do highly recommend everyone to get it when you order the micro slider. And there are two reasons. First, it is a very nicely designed, very low profile stand that designed for the micro slider. When you finish using it, you just need to fold it up like this. And it is virtually not adding any size space to your micro slider. And second reason is that with this Easylock, it allows you to place the camera in a very, very low angle, and that does help you to create some panning shot that you normally can't do if you're just using a normal tripod, because when the camera is placed very low and very close to the ground, it just visually creates a much bigger impact, a more cinematic feel when you are doing the panning shot. But having said that, there are a couple of things that I wish Zeapon can improve maybe for the next version of the Easylock. First thing is, when you put it on a perfectly flat ground, that's good because there are 4 adjustable legs that can help you give you a little bit of adjustment. But if you place it on anywhere that is not very even, the adjustable leg at the bottom here, there is actually not much you can adjust. So anything that is slightly rocky or something that is not perfectly flat, and you may have trouble trying to balance and lay this slider flat onto the ground. And the second thing is, when you are using a small camera like this Sigma FP, then it's not really a problem. What I mean is, when you extend the track all the way to the edges, it can still stay reasonably stable. But if I swap this camera to, say, a Panasonic S1, and what will happen is that this track will immediately fall down like this. And that's because the legs at the bottom, even if I fully extend it like this, it's still shorter than the end of the track. So yeah, if you put a heavy camera there, it will just unbalance the whole track. So I'm just thinking maybe Zeapon can do is that they can actually make the Easylock a little bit longer, because if I unfold it and I'll show you the view from the bottom, you can notice that, just give me a second. Okay, you can notice that the Easylock actually is quite a bit shorter than the track itself. So if you are going to travel with these two combined like this, why not make the Easylock a little bit longer? So if we make it go all the way to here and all the way to here, then there are two benefits. One is that this leg can be quite a bit longer, so it can create a more stable platform for the track even when it's fully extended. And also that means it gives more space to have a longer this little leg here, so that would give you more adjustment, so it will be better when you are using it on an uneven surface. But other than this, I think this Easylock is a very cool accessory for the micro slider, and the micro slider itself is also super cool. I honestly haven't been so excited about an accessory for quite a while, and this one, since I start using it, every time I use it, I feel so good about it because it just helped me to create some very smooth, very nice shot. I know this video may sound a little bit like a sponsored video. In some way they are sponsoring me the giveaway, but one thing I want to clarify is when Zeapon first contact me, so usually the first email back I would ask them, okay, what are your rules and requirements for the review? And a lot of company would come back and say, oh, I want you to be positive, I want you to be send me the link of your video before you publish it so that we can have a look at it. These are quite common requests from a lot of companies, and usually when people say that, I would tell them, if you want to have a look before I publish it, that is fine, but I want to keep my review fair and honest. So if I find something I like, I will talk about it, but if I find something that I don't like, I will also talk about it. In this case with Zeapon, the reply I got back is actually just, I want you to do a very honest review and tell me what you think about the product and give us some feedback so that we can improve our product. So that immediately tell me two things or three things. Well, first is they are not trying to like buy you by sending you free stuff and want you to give a good review. And second is they want to hear feedback and so that they can improve their product. So both are very good. And the third thing is that means they actually have good confidence about their product. And that is what happens with a lot of the bigger company that I work with. A lot of the bigger camera manufacturer, lens manufacturer, they would not say, oh, I want to censor your review or you can only do a positive review. They wouldn't say that. So it's very good to see that Zeapon is a relatively new startup company and they already have the same kind of thinking and confidence as some of the bigger and more established company. And hopefully that means we'll see some even better product from them in the future. Okay, so this is my review of this micro slider and the Easylock. Honestly, I am very excited about this product and I'm very happy with it. If you have any question, feel free to drop a comment below. Thank you very much for watching this video and I will see you in my next video.